But now we're here in Amsterdam. Yes, the best dam of them all. What a good time it's been. What a good time. I'm glad I came here early on this trip because I got a few days of the good weather. I've heard so many rumors about it. Every time I come here, people are like, you should have come. You should have come a few weeks ago. People in the Netherlands talk about their weather like a child who doesn't know where their dad is. No, he was here. He was here. But you didn't see him. He was here. Mommy said he's coming back. It's not just, you know what it is? It's not just the rain that gets me here. It's like a depressing season that sets over the entire place. You know, the entire thing. It's just like I'm used to rain, okay? I grew up in South Africa, in Johannesburg, right? We have a lot of rain, right? Yeah, I live in New York City now. We get a lot of rain. But you know what happens is the clouds come in, it rains, and then it leaves. Even if it rains for long, if you look into the distance, you can see parts of the sky in other cities that have no clouds. Here, it descends upon the entire Netherlands. Like an ancient wizard has cast a spell. You look as far as you can. Like 2 days ago, when it hit, like properly, it hit. I looked out of my window and I was like, this is not possible. There are no clouds. It is just cloud. It's gray. There's no shape. There's nothing. You can't see anything. It's just gray, as far as your eye can see, from one corner to the next. And then the worst thing is, it's not rain, but it's rain. Just enough rain that you get wet, not enough that you need an umbrella. You just walk around with an umbrella, you feel like an idiot. You close it up, it's drenched all over your face. Tiny little droplets. You can't do anything. You don't want to be outside, you know, but you don't want to stay inside. It's like depressing the whole time. The whole time. I was in this weather for 2 days. For 2 days, I was in this weather. I was sitting inside, I was looking at it, I was walking outside, I was feeling it. And in 2 days, I felt something deep inside me. I was like, Gah! Gah! And I was like, now I get it. Now I get why the Dutch colonized. I get it. I get it, man. Woo-wee! Ooh, don't even play games with me, Amsterdam. If I lived here for 6 months, after month 7, I would be like, ek moet 'n ander plek gaan. Ek wil neem the countries of other mense. That's probably what happened, right? Yeah, because it didn't happen the other way around, right? It's not like anyone from Suriname was landing here, right? There's no African boats arriving here. Africans weren't building boats; they were having a good time, eating mangoes, enjoying the sunshine. The Dutch were like, we can't stay in this weather for any longer. I'm sick of this, and they set sail. The Dutch. It really is interesting. You know, when we think about colonization really intrigues me as a concept, you know? Not just like how it happened, but how we treat it today, you know? I can feel some of the white people tensing up. Relax, it's a comedy show, relax. Relax, I saw your shoulders, ma'am. You were like, You're like, he's coming for us now? No, relax. It's a comedy show. For 1 hour, I forgive you. It's all right, relax. No, like, okay, so here's what it is. Here's what it is for me, right? I travel to many places around the world. I do comedy shows. And I'll always announce that I'm going to a country to perform. What I find intriguing is certain countries get certain responses every single time. Every single time, right? And a lot of those countries will get a negative response, right? So recently, this was like about a month ago, I was doing shows in Germany. And the same way I do every year, I announced. I said, I'm going to Berlin and Stuttgart, excited to be coming to Germany. And without fail, under my Instagram comments, under my Facebook comments, whatever social media I used, people were commenting underneath. Those Nazis. I hope you tell them that they're Nazis, Trevor. Don't forget to remind them what they did, Trevor. You tell them that they're Nazis, Trevor. I was like, which part of my comedy show do you think this is going to be happening in? Come on, good evening, Germany, you Nazis. But that's all I get in the comments. People will be like, yo, man, you know, they don't even laugh. They shouldn't laugh. They don't have a sense of humor, those Nazis. Don't ever forget what they did, Trevor. And I understand it. I do understand it. But what I find interesting is that I'll travel to other countries that also have a harrowing past. You know, and this is not a moment to compare like the numbers and no. I just travel to places where they have a harrowing past. And I've noticed I don't get any of the same backlash. Like when I said I was coming to the Netherlands, people were just like, oh, enjoy the canals, woo! Yes, oh, Trevor, yeah, enjoy riding the bicycles, woohoo! Bring me back some weed, wah! I was like, what is it? What is it? Like, how come some countries have this and some countries don't? And I was in Germany for about a week. And being there for a week, I got to sample how they live, you know, what they do, what they don't do. And after having a meal there one day, I think I figured it out. I think I figured out why some European nations have been able to shake off most of their colonial baggage, and some have kept more of it than others. You know, the history of what they did. And it all lies in the food. Yeah, my grandmother taught me this lesson when I was really young, and I didn't understand it. I was too young to get it. My grandmother used to love cooking for me and the entire family. She's the greatest cook ever. She'd cook for all of us on a Sunday by herself. Didn't want anyone else in the kitchen because she didn't want anyone taking credit for what she made. The only person who was allowed to be with her was me. And so me and my grandmother in the kitchen, and she loved me. I was her favorite grandchild because I could eat the most. And so she would give me the food while she's cooking. She's like, what do you think? And I was like, I'm not sure. And she'd give me again and be like, I'm not sure. And she'd be like, you're so naughty, Trevor. And then she'd make some more food, And then one day, out of the blue, my grandma was busy cooking everything, making everything, and she turned and she gave it to me, and I was like, that's so good, Granny. And she said, you know what, Trevor, can I tell you a secret? If you know how to cook well, you can make someone forget anything bad you've done. That's why your grandfather is still around. I was like, what? I didn't understand it. How could I? I didn't have the right information. Until recently, when I traveled to Europe and I actually spent time in these different countries, spent time sampling the culture, the life, and the food. And then I got it. I got it. All the countries that have been able to sort of like distract people are the countries that spend time in the kitchen. Yeah. Like the French. They have one of the worst legacies of colonization ever. Yeah. But when you ask them, you can't stay mad at them. You'll be like, yo, French, what did you do in Congo? They're like, what did I do with this croissant? Oh, have you tasted it? Oh, succulent. You go to Italians, you're like, what did you do in East Africa? They're like, but what did I do with this pizza? Mamma mia. Look at this pasta, just a taste it. This is the true travesty. Oh my God. Even the Dutch, you got in on the game. People are like, what were you guys doing when the spice trade? And you guys like, what do you mean with the puffer cheese? You mean with our little puffer cheese? You want to have some puffer cheese? The Belgians were like, have a waffle. Forget about what we did in Africa. And then you get to Germany and they're like, would you like to try some sauerkraut? And you taste that shit and you're like, we will never forget. Never. People get offended sometimes when I say these things, but it's something you actually shouldn't be offended by. You shouldn't be offended by it, because I've learned in talking to like anthropologists and sociologists that a lot of the way people are in their cultures comes from the weather that they were raised in. This is a true thing. No, it's a true thing. So for instance, I've always been fascinated, like whenever I travel to Scandinavia, you know, like Sweden and Norway and all those places, I was always intrigued by the way they speak, right? Like they have a very like curt language. You know, like when you talk about, you say Spanish, you want it to learn because it like sounds good, and like Swedish for me has always sounded the opposite. You know, it's just got that like tuck, tuck, hida, tuck, jada, kyukkur, kuttabuttatora, kuttu, muris, kuttabura, kurin, 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 burtum, tur, kuriship, mutjado. It's like that thing. You know what I mean? And I was always like, why? And it turns out that Swedish people, over generations, we're talking about like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, because they lived in a climate that was so cold, you couldn't afford to open your mouth wide when you speak. Right? Like I grew up in Xhosa culture. My mother's Xhosa, my grandmother's Xhosa, that's my whole family. Xhosa people grew up in South Africa, warm climate. So when we speak, we open our mouths. Molo, that's how we greet you. Molo mhlobam, usaphila, alright, hi, ndibonile. You see? It's because we've got warm air. We can take our time. If you've been to Sweden in the winter, you understand. What, you can't wait, you can't mess around out there. You just gotta get them. You can't be messing around when the temperatures are dropping to below zero. You can't be coming outside. Imagine you in Xhosa in Sweden. You're gonna come out there like more, freeze the shit out of your throat. So I'm not saying you're not kind. I'm just saying you're not warm. You know, the Dutch are very, in the time I've been here, like very efficient. You know, very logical people. If it doesn't make sense to you, it just doesn't make sense. You know, I asked someone yesterday, I said, hey, why does it seem like there's less transport? And then he was like, because there's a strike. That's what he said. He had like a weird, it was like Dutch, but it wasn't Dutch accent. He was like, yeah, because there's a strike. I was like, okay, well, when are they coming back? He's like, when they come back? I was like, all right, I guess you don't know. Dutch are just very like, you know when you can see it? You can see it when you go around Amsterdam and you watch Dutch people riding bicycles. I've never been to a country where people do such a fun activity in such a serious way. Everywhere else in the world, people on a bicycle look like they are living the personification of happiness. Because that's what a bicycle is. It's goofy, it's silly. Your legs are going round and round. You're there with the little barrel, pring, bring. That's like a fun time, yay! And then here in the Netherlands, straight back, straight body, focus. Focus, 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 focus. We're going somewhere, focus, focus, focus. And God forbid you step in front of that bike, God forbid. Let me tell you something, I have never in my life been to a country where I would rather step in front of a car than a bicycle. I have never in my life, every day that I've been out here, I've forgotten, I'll step into the bicycle lane, you see them flying at you, and for safety I'll jump to the cars because I know I've got a better chance of surviving. Your bike riders here do not give a shit. They do not give a shit. They come at you. It's almost like they go faster when they see you. You step into that lane, people lose their shit. Come at you full speed. Full speed. I've never heard a bell sound angry until I came to the Netherlands. Angry as shit. Kring, 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 kring. Kring, kring. One guy screamed at me, he's like, hey, why don't you look? Why don't you look behind you? I'm like, because that's not how looking works. What do you think, I just live my life like I owe people money? Think I'm just walking around like this? Why don't you look behind you? Why don't you use your brakes? People in the Netherlands act like this is an action movie and there's a bomb on their bike and they can't stop or the shit will blow up. Just hit the brakes. There's a human being in front of you. They pedal faster. They pedal faster. They've got kids. It's like the kids are little torpedoes they're going to use on you. You've got your family in the front of this thing, and you go faster. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm like, are you shitting me? The kid's there with his helmet, ready to kill me. Almost aiming at me like, yeah, papa, yeah, papa. Yeah, papa, let's go, papa. Yeah, 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 yeah. Just hit the brakes. It's a bicycle. You can slow down. I want to do that. I'm actually going to go around. I'm going to go around Amsterdam and I'm going to mess with people. Because I've noticed the Dutch, you guys take Sundays pretty chill. I'm going to wait for a Sunday. I'm going to wait for a Sunday when you guys are enjoying yourselves, walking through the canals, having a nice time in Amstel Park. And then I'm going to come there. I'm just going to start walking really fast. Walking really fast. Walk straight through you and your family while you're sitting on those blankets. Just come straight there. Yeah, 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 yeah.